Welcome to Bigger Than You, the podcast to help you go from overwhelm, self-doubt and scarcity in your business to the calm, grounded and unshakably confident version of you that's going to bring your vision to life. You've got a mission and a purpose that's bigger than you and your limiting stories and beliefs. So let's get you out of your own way. I'm Jenna Holloway, your host and multi-award-winning intuitive hypnotherapist and mindset coach. Expect to hear game-changing perspective shifts on how to align your subconscious mind with your boldest goals, and will unlock the power of energetics, infusing it into every aspect of your life and business for maximum impact. Are you ready? Then let's dive in. Hello, welcome. If it is morning, if it is evening, wherever you are, welcome. Honestly, at this time of year, I have no idea even what the day is, let alone the time as well. But really excited to be doing this. So I'm just going to invite in a minute, Jenna's going to be joining me. So Jenna Holloway. And we're going to be doing a collaboration together, which I'm super excited for because it's one of my favourite things to do. So I'm just going to invite her in and then we can introduce ourselves. So many technical issues this week. I think it's just given up for Christmas already. So we will see. Let's see. Yeah, it worked. It's always that moment where I'm like, it's taking such a long time, but that is just Instagram, isn't it?
Yeah, I did a live last night and the other person was just completely black, but the everybody watching could see both of us. They could see both of us, so it was like doing a phone call.
You've got to love technology, haven't you? Mm-hmm. How are you today, Jenna?
Yes, really, thank you. How are you?
Good. Yeah, good. So it's my son's last day of school today, and it's quite a relief because it's my first year of really going through the whole mum thing of being at school, and oh my god, the admin, I just feel like I'm constantly waking up and going, oh my god, I need to be there and I haven't done that, and I need to make this and I need to do this costume. So it's going to be like hopefully more chilled by the end of today. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm super excited to do this. So do you want to quickly introduce yourself and then we'll talk about what we're going to be covering today?
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Jenna Holloway and I am a subconscious coach and intuitive business mentor for self-aware, driven women who have massive dreams but know that they are standing in their own way. So it's all about getting to the bottom of what is holding them back. It's basically limiting beliefs in the subconscious mind, reprogramming those so that the subconscious feels safe and is aligned with the things that you want to achieve, so that you don't hold yourself back anymore. Because most, like 95% of everything we think, feel and do is subconscious. So we have to have the subconscious on board and feeling safe with what we want to achieve and experience, and the way we want to experience it as well. Like, be super successful, but not from a place of like struggle and strain and like sacrificing all joy in your life, right? It's got to come from a place of feeling good, because life is for living.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will come on to this, but I'm 100% with you on that as well. So yeah, and for anybody that doesn't know me, I'm Rachel Pearson. I'm a business and marketing coach, and I focus on helping clients to really upgrade their messaging and their positioning to be able to like sell their services for the value that they hold. And one of the reasons that Jenna and I decided to do this, because we've got very similar values, I think, in how we approach business, but also, although we look at different areas, I think what's underneath it is quite similar, which is about how you perceive yourself and the value that you hold, and how that then is communicated outwardly as well. So that's what we're going to be covering a bit today, is around how that shows up. And then also, if you're looking to raise your prices next year or looking to attract in a different level of client, then we can talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. I was thinking, do you want to riff on all of the kind of strategy around luxury marketing, pricing, all of that, and then I will just bounce off whatever you say from the subconscious and mindset aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that sounds really good. So my background is in luxury marketing, and that's kind of why as well I focus a lot on helping clients with that. And often what it is from a strategic perspective is actually a real shift in what luxury means. And I think we're seeing this more and more, and we're going to see it next year increasingly as well. So what people's perception often is of luxury is the showiness, like being almost like so polished, really almost like coming to things with a ready-made huge following, like having status. And that's part of it. Like there is a visual part of, you know, you get a sense of what luxury means, and that's like another part I can talk about. But where it all begins is around what you stand for and your values. So it's actually a lot around the internal part of who you are. And even if we look at like big luxury brands as an example, obviously they're not people like we are in our business, but that's where they come from. Like they really focus on what do they stand for, what's their story, how do they want their customers to experience what they're doing. And so, like, to make this really tangible, if you think of a brand like Chanel, for example, Chanel really made a name by doing something that was very, very different in fashion at that time, which was around not something overcomplicated, but was just very true to their values of simplicity and quality. And that is still how Chanel markets today. It has all of the fancy, you know, runway shows and everything and advertising around it. But you think of Chanel and you think of like really high quality, black and white, it's very simple. So that is like the first, I'd say, and it is actually a mindset shift as well around what is luxury, because often what I see with clients I work with is that they are holding back from truly owning who they are because they feel like they need to be at a certain level of business to be able to like charge their worth, like not charge their worth, but like charge the prices they want to charge. And that's not the case really. So yeah, I don't know if you've got anything from a mindset perspective to add to that.
Yeah, 100%. It's that when we think of those big brands like Chanel, they know who they are,
Yeah.
and they like any of the brands that we think of luxury or just really standout brands. They just have an energy about them. It's like they don't care what everybody else is doing. They're not even bothered. They're staying in their own lane, and they're like, "This is who I am. Join me." And that is such a grounded, like, oh, it just feels so safe. And then if we take that and apply that to us and who we truly are, staying in our own lane, not looking around at what everybody else is doing, that to me it's the same vibe, right?
Yeah.
It's knowing who you are and really accepting that and not trying to change that in any way, and then really embodying you.
Yeah.
And being safe in who you are so that you show up in all of your authenticity, and it feels so grounded, and people just are attracted to you because it feels grounded, it feels safe, it feels magnetic, and you're not trying to be somebody else, or you're not trying to hide any part of you, because you fully love and accept yourself as you are. So you're like, cool, I don't need to think about how to show up. I just literally show up as me. And you like it or you don't, and that's cool with me. That's how I embody it, and it's just so easy. It takes away all of the energy leaks that would be there if I'm like, oh, I don't want to say this because what if somebody would think, but I don't care, you know, my people are for me, and anybody who's not for me is totally fine. Like,
Yeah.
somebody else, and that's such a gift. Well, I've kind of got to that place, and now that's what I teach as part of what I teach and part of how I help people. What I help people with, it's not just about the business, it's about actually that inner work to get to that place of personal safety and like really feeling grounded in who you are.
Yeah.
And it just becomes easy to show up because you're not thinking and overthinking how am I being perceived. It feels safe to show up as you are, so you just do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really agree with that. And I think often, like from a strategy perspective, what I see, like from what you're saying as well, is that it feels really hard to not only show up, but to create content, to create offers, because like you've highlighted, if you don't feel like you're doing what is really connected to you, like what really excites you in your business and you're trying to copy what you think is going to make you successful, that's going to create resistance, because like you said, your subconscious is kind of like, this doesn't feel like true to me. And then, and actually when you look at luxury brands, they never follow the trends. Like you just said, they're so in their own space, doing like core, like their core values, know what they're good at. It's the other people that follow them. So like how many times you see H&M like launching something that they've just seen a luxury brand do. And it's the same with our business, that if we are trying to follow like a short-term trend or something that we think is making somebody else successful, but it's not really connected to who we are and what we want our business to look like, it will feel like this roller coaster of it's working, it's not working, it's working, it's not working. And you probably see that with your clients as well, like that kind of feeling of it's not working, when actually it's just not, maybe it's just not fully you. It's not that you can't make it work, it's just not the strategy or approach or way you want your business to run.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why I do the kind of the work to get to a place where you fully love and accept yourself first, so that you don't look to others. Like I basically teach my clients to do it how I do it. And it's not like strategy, like not teaching them a strategy. It's how to embody being the business owner who is magnetic, who speaks her truth, who gets to love her life now and create that success with ease. And it's about like really getting to a place where you really are in tune with your body and how you receive things, right? So in tune, because then you curate your social media. This is just one example, but you curate your social media so that it only adds value.
Yeah.
And anything that feels like a no thanks, you just mute or you unfollow. And anytime you notice that you're on social media and it's from a place of like the energy is lack, or like I'm not good enough vibes, you're like, right, no, not the time to be on social media. And it's not like, this is a kind of general sort of takeaway tip for any sort of time in your life, whether it's business or not. It's like, it's not the action that you take that matters, it's the energy underneath the action. So for example, scrolling on your phone last thing at night rather than reading a book. Yes, self-care says it's better to wind down and read a book, but if you are consciously choosing to just scroll for entertainment purposes, and the energy underneath that is nothing to do with I'm comparing myself, I'm trying to look for inspiration, blah, blah, blah. It's just really good, then that's fine. You're living life, you're not your way. You're not kind of ticking the self-care to-do boxes to make sure I'm in a good place. It's like, it's just like all of that adds heaviness to life and business. You just get to run your life and your business your way. But in order to do that, you've got to have a really good relationship with yourself and be really, really in tune with how you're receiving things. Because anything that doesn't add value, whether it's life or business, literally anything that doesn't add value, it's a hard no. Because you love, the idea is that you love and appreciate yourself so much that you're just not available for taking on anything that doesn't add value, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is like the biggest difference that I see when, you know, we talk about these breakthroughs, or, you know, people kind of feeling like things fitting into place. And yes, it's like, I love strategy, but I'm 100% with you that it starts with the mindset, the energetics piece, getting into that frequency. And I think what I'd say from a strategy perspective as well, just kind of like bounce off what you're saying as well, is that part of it, I think, is getting really, like you said, it's not judgment on what you're doing, but it's an awareness, and then a curiosity of, okay, that's interesting that I'm doing that and I'm feeling this the next morning, what's going on there? And that's the same. I think this is a really good time of year to be asking those kinds of questions about how this year has gone and what you want to take into next year, what you want to let go of, and just getting curious about it. Like, celebrate what has happened, but also get curious about, okay, where can I build on that? And that is exactly what luxury brands do as well. They don't ever stand still. So some of them have been around for obviously like hundreds of years, but they've been the first to embrace new technologies. They've been the first to look at how can I upgrade my customer experience? Like how can I make like digital experience really seamless with my in-store experience? They never have this sense of entitlement of either it's not working or it will always work for me. And I feel like curiosity is one of the key things that I see with clients that really are able to not only keep going, but to really tune into what we've just been talking about. Like, what do you want your business to look like and how can you show up for yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And it's like, there is no concept of failure. Everything is feedback. And yeah, to have the resilience to just try something for long enough to see if it works and to notice the meaning that you are making out of things. Yeah, because we're meaning making machines, like literally everything that goes on is neutral. And so we get to come at it from a place of noticing how we are interpreting a situation, what we're making that mean, and also what we're making it mean about us. And when we notice that, this is like, it's just a whole self-awareness piece. It is such a game changer. When you improve your self-awareness, you get to be so much more empowered as a business owner. So notice how you are responding to a situation. And if that story isn't serving you in your thoughts and in your mind, then choose one that feels better. Right, I'm just going to, there's loads of comments going on. Let's just read them. There's a lovely chat going on between.
Interaction.
Yeah, it is. There's a chat going on between Melody and John. Love this, needed to hear this. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Melanie. Love a TikTok scroll to chill. Yeah. I limit scrolling. I ask, does this content inspire me and fill me with joy? Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Use YouTube Shorts for entertainment. Yeah. After some coaching, I have begun making 1 minute energy healing shorts. They feel so good, a game changer. Good. I love that.
Right.
She's like, what? And this is great, but also what you were saying about continuously evolving and not just having that entitled energy of just, right, this is working, therefore it's going to work forever. Like, I don't think anybody really thinks that, but like a good way to be instead is to just tune in to the ideas that come in. And how to know whether it's coming from your higher self is to just notice how it feels in your body. Does it feel expansive? Does it feel exciting? Even if it feels nerve-wracking as well, like we can work on the mindset around that. But if that idea comes in and it feels expansive and exciting, that is a really, really good sign, and trust that. And that's where the mindset work is so important, because if the limiting beliefs come in and shut you down and like, who am I to do that? Or that wouldn't work. That doesn't make sense. Like, no, it doesn't make sense. Intuition doesn't make sense. But it's about getting out of your own way, like working on your mindset so that you can trust that intuition and you can follow those big, expansive ideas, because that really is what collapses your timeline. And that is what the trailblazing industry leaders are doing, right? Yeah. They're not questioning, is this going to make me look silly? Or they're not worried about failure. They're just determined. They have that vision in their mind. And they don't, like, I love to teach this with my clients. I have an idea, like the concept of a future memory. And what that is about is you have your vision in your mind, and you have loads of small, like, what's the word? Low stake type, literally future memories, visualizations in your mind of what your life will be when you've achieved that. But the energy it's a given, right? It's exactly the same energy that you have around the memory that you were at that place last night, right? That's the key. It's the energy around it. It's not it would be lovely if this happens. It's like, that's definitely going to happen. And it's just a matter of time for reality to catch up. And the more of those future memories you create, the more of those opportunities you get when that is your life, and you visualize it so specifically that the moment, you visualize a conversation with a specific person in a specific place, and then reality catches up and you're like, oh, this is the future memory. I am living this now. And how this absolutely works is because your brain cannot tell the difference between real and imagination. So if you decide and create a future memory, and you really visualize that with feeling, right? It's about connecting the emotion to it as well. And having the energy around it is an absolute given. It's not an if or, you know, maybe, I hope type thing. No, it's definitely happening. And you just embody, like it's really important to embody the version of the person that has that already. It's the be, do, have. Like you create your reality. So you've got to be the person who is a match for that. Again, that's another framework that I teach. But that's so exciting to have all of those future memories. Can't remember where I came, like how I got to speak about that, but I don't know. I just can't remember, so I shared it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like that is an amazing approach to take as well. Like I think, because I sometimes feel like, you know, we talk about like embodiment is a term that I wholeheartedly agree with, but sometimes we talk about it and I hear people say to me, but how do you do that? Like how, you know, and it is something which if you are still like figuring out, I don't know, like, or maybe you're like re-looking at what's going on in your business or who you want to be, like it really helps to have these like access points into what that is. And also I think, you know, as we kind of like have touched on so much here as well, that what this really comes back to is what you just said about the do have, like who, you know, we are a reflection of the being and the doing. So like maybe at this time of year is a really good chance to look at who do you want to be in the next year. Like who are you showing, like who are you being in your daily life, who are you being in your business, what are the non-negotiables that mean that you can be that person. And then from a sort of doing perspective is then like, okay, what then are the action steps that also like the non-negotiables to be able to sell, to be able to connect with your community. It has to be both, like we've just talked about today. So that could be a good reflection as people go into the new year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, yeah, when you, I find it hard to wonder how would you be fully embodied, because I think probably because I am at that place, but
Yeah.
it's just a case of thinking like, what do you stand for? And it's about doing the work to feel, like I said earlier, feel like you truly accept and love yourself exactly as you are, and then you show up that way. So for me, embodiment is just, well, I think it's because I've created my business around what I stand for and how I am, like creating that success from a place of ease, putting my freedom and my family first, rather than like overworking and then trying to embody working less. It's like I've done the work to get to a place where I'm not overworking and I have those boundaries in place, and it all comes from that inner work to get the subconscious on board, to feel safe, to embody what you want to embody. That's for me, that's why I find it so easy, because I've done the work. So I think it always comes back to that, isn't it? Like once you've done that work to bring the subconscious on board so that it feels safe to literally put your family first and stop working when you want to stop working, or, you know, do what you said you were going to do. And just that constant ongoing mindset work, like ask yourself, is this the version of me that I want to show up as today? And just in the moment, course correct. If it's not, like if I realize that I've not drank any water so far this morning, then go and fill my bottle up and drink more water. It's not like there's no sort of judgment involved. It's just constantly like that self-awareness to course correct over and over and over again until it becomes more normal. And then you are being the version of the person that has what you have, or being the version of the person that does the things that the person who's going to get the thing that has. You know what I mean? The things you have is in the right order.
Yeah, exactly. And I think just to quickly add to that is also letting that be seen, you know, from my sort of perspective of like in your messaging and how you're even showing up on lives like this, and how you're talking about your offers, is let that evolution that's happening on the inside also come through in your message as well. Like sometimes I have with clients that there's a hesitation of, will this like will I leave behind the people that I did work with before, or will I still be relatable? And it is absolutely that the people that connect with how you are moving will always find you, like you will find the right clients. And so like we've talked about before, just let that be seen, like how would you be if you just let the judgment go? Like if you weren't worried about the judgment or what people think of you, like, and speak your truth, that is what is going to connect in with those clients that really value you, and also that really get behind you. Like people want to get behind something that is bigger than, oh, I help you with this, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, cast the vision for what you see, like communicate that, cast the vision for your people. They see you as a leader. I love the point you made about not worrying about leaving people behind. Like if you are committed to the vision that you have in your mind, then you're gonna grow fast, you're gonna evolve fast, and it's okay that some people aren't gonna come with you. That's, you know, that's their life. You live your life your way. You have your business, you run your business, you go fast if you want, you make all your choices for you, and the people that are meant to follow you will absolutely follow you. But if you hold yourself back because you're worried about people not coming with you, or, as you know, people not paying your new price rises or whatever, then you are basically missing the opportunity of all of those dream clients that will not resonate with you because you're worried about what those people back there are going to think. Yeah. It's just, do you, and your people will follow you. Your people will be inspired. You are the leader. So make sure that you can feel that and therefore show up with that, like in that energy. And I also loved what you said about communicate it, because that's something that I've kind of been working on more and more lately, is that I was doing all of this stuff and not really sharing it. And so, yeah, it's really, really important, whatever's going on in your mind in terms of what do you feel that you do naturally? Like, what's your superpower? Make it obvious to those people that are watching, because, like, yeah, just state it. Yeah. It's not necessarily obvious.
Absolutely. I think that is a good, there was so much like passion in what you just said then, that feels like a good closing out point. So, I mean, we could probably talk about this the whole hour and more, but yeah, has anybody got any questions who is watching live? I know there's more that have come in.
Yeah, so John says, my spiritual mentoring, healing, energy work skills are super broad with many, many services. Do you have ideas for simplicity of our services? Oh, great question.
Ooh, yeah. So I would be, first of all, really looking at what is the problem that you solve? Like, what is it that you are really helping your clients to work through? And then looking at, from that problem, what are the like phases or steps that your client goes through from the point where they might first become aware of that, or even if they're not aware, that you help them become aware of it, right through to having that transformation. And then start to really I feel like always start from your client, like start from how you can help them and serve them and get real clarity on that, and then look at how the kind of offers are built on top of that, would be my advice.
Yeah, and I'd just love to add as well, as you are reflecting on the questions that Rachel said, like how do your clients need help, just reflect in on, as you are like maybe journaling on that or deciding what that is, make sure that the answers to that question fit what you actually want to do. Because maybe it's that you think that your clients really need Reiki, and you can do that, but it's not something that you would want to get out of bed for every single day for the rest of your life. Like, something that is truly aligned will be the thing that doesn't feel like work for you. So if you can find that sweet spot between what you absolutely love to do most that also helps your ideal client, then perfect. And something that my clients often struggle with is, but I'm actually really good at loads of different things. Okay, great, that's wonderful, but doesn't mean to say that you have to bring all of the things to the table, right? It's your business, you do it your way, and so you choose what actually lights your soul on fire.
Yeah.
And for me now, like, not in the past, in the past it was helping non-business owners, and I was just attracting business owners in my one-to-one space, and it got to a point where the intuition came through so clearly that the work I'm meant to do is just for business owners. And the kind of the purpose for that is I help heart-centered business owners who help others. So like that ripple effect is so much greater. And even though at that point when that intuition came in, I still loved helping non-business owners. I had a whole really successful route program called Change Your Life. I literally just decided bravely just pivot, change the name of my podcast, and just went with it, trusted that intuition, because that really is the thing that lit my soul on fire even more. And so that I know now that, well, I knew back then as well, I can do this for the rest of my life, and I would absolutely never, ever get tired of it. So that sweet really, really important, to make sure that you make those choices from a place of, yes, I absolutely love this way of helping my person.
Yeah, that's such a good point. There's that phrase now of just because you can doesn't mean you should. And that not just for this question, but for business and life overall is a good reminder. Yeah, like you said earlier, if it doesn't feel yes, then it's a hard no. So I've loved this discussion, Jenna. It's been so good. And we're going to hop over onto your page now, aren't we? And continue more. But thank you everybody for joining us live. And yeah, it's been a great discussion. There's so many. Honestly, I feel like people could actually just write their whole plan next year and how they want to be just from this live.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, thank you so much for joining. If you have enjoyed this and you want more, hop over to my page. I am Jenna Holloway. We're going live, and I'm going to invite Rachel straight on. We will carry on the conversation there. So see you all soon.
See you in a minute.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Bigger Than You podcast with your host, Jenna Holloway. If this episode has been valuable to you, please share it with a friend or leave a review.